Yeah, hope everyone able to see my screen, right?
Yes, bro.
Okay, yeah. So, yesterday what we discussed, so related about the cloud computing. So, what it is, cloud computing, and what are the feasibilities and what are the benefits from the cloud computing, and what are the cloud providers what we have, and what are the cloud types which we have. Under the cloud types, which application is comes under the which cloud type, and OIC is comes under which cloud type, and we will discuss with examples as well this one. And we have a cloud models, like we can call it as a deployment methods as well. So these methods also we discussed yesterday. And yesterday, why day before yesterday we discussed about the Oracle Sova, right? So there is a question will be, what is the differences? Okay, is the difference between Oracle's Sova and OIC. So that is the purpose only we discussed SOA principles and SOA on premises and who will own the applications and everything. So yesterday we moved to cloud and okay, and coming to this OIC. So when it is came into the market and what are the changes enhancements in the each level of generation. So what they added new features and who provided this application, so that is what we yesterday we discussed. Okay. So this is we started. Again, we will cover today. Okay. Before that, so do you have any queries? What yesterday discussed, like related to the OAC and cloud computing and methods, vendor details, and cloud types, what we have. So if you have any queries on this topic, so just we will give some glimpse on that. So then we'll jump into the other session, like data formats, what we have. So hope we are good on these top two topics, right? Okay, I can take it as a no questions. Okay. Yeah, so I think yesterday, so while in the AOAC as part of integration, so to exchange the information, we need some language. Okay, so yesterday, as we have discussed, we need some language to transfer the data and to store the data. So between the applications, right? So we have a XML and JSON. So the XML, so we have a structure. We need to follow some no rules and regulations. So otherwise, it will get failed. Why? Because no, they have a, some standard language. For example, when you're implementing a code in the C language, it should be some standards. We need to follow some syntaxes and we need to follow some methods and all those things, right? Same way, for any language, we need to follow some rules and regulations to make a structure. So that is what we discussed yesterday. So so every XML needs to be, this is a declaration statement, and we can call it as a prologue statement as well. So this is, if we are not providing this one, even though it is validated, but sometimes we will get a some parsing exception errors at the time of conversion, the data conversion. So that is the what, the it is a recommended statement what we have. And this is a UTF, right? Unicode transformation format. This is the encoding provided by the W3 XML organization, and it is a encoding the XML, and it is a mandatory. Otherwise, the we'll get some parsing exceptions for the data transformation. So, so every XML structure, as we discussed yesterday, we need a one root element. We need a one root element. So this is the root element. And each tag, each element or each tag, we can call it as the root element or root tag, or we can call it as a sub elements, or we can call it as a tags as well. So each tag should be start tag and close tag. So the start tag between these angular brackets and end tag will be one, this backward slash we have. So between this start tag and end tag, we have a value. So this is the value. We are storing this value under this tag, that is a customer ID. So we are transforming the value 001 under this customer ID during the exchanging the information between the application. Okay. So let's say we have a, let's try example, let's discuss. So we have a, for example, you're creating a one, like now, you're creating a one order in the Amazon services. So you're providing the you're purchasing some mobile and you're providing the details and model and all those things, right? So they will going to fetch the model and all the details and they will provided some configurations. So backend usually they're calling to the some so and so company inventory stores and they will get the details and they will store the they will display on our UI page, right? So the information traverse backend from vendor stores to Amazon UI screen. So we have a like a structure like this. So the backend structure, for example, it is a mobile number. So sorry, mobile model and name of the mobile and what are the size of the configuration RAM. So these are the values. They have a structure in the backend. So the value will be traverse and the value will be stored in the particular element and displayed on our screen. So this is the purpose of the XML structure in our OIC integration. Not only OIC, it is applicable for all the applications. Wherever like we have a Java, .NET, and MuleSoft, we have a Dell Boomi, and we have some other technologies, right? So in this market, so the XML can readable, can understandable, and it is a like no any language can readable. This is a data format. So the rules will be we need to maintain the one product declaration statement and one root element should have one root element should must we want one root element and the start tag end tag should be closed with the same naming convention. For example, let's say we have a C here. So here we are adding as a cust C is a capital letter and here is a C is a small letter. This is the invalid one. So this is the invalid element declaration. So the valid element declaration, okay, this is invalid. For example, the valid element declaration is, it should be match with the start tag and it should be match with the end tag name. So it is a valid element declaration. Okay. And so this is a very simple
It's case
document. Hmm.
it's case sensitive, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, case sensitive. I'll come to that one also. Yeah. So this is the structure which we have. So this is the root element, this is the child elements, and we will come up with the next structure after this. Once you understand very basic, so we'll go to that. So what are the types of this naming convention can declare we have? So we can declare one is the lower case. Sorry. Okay. So one is lowercase letters. This will be lowercase means, for example, first name. This is the lowercase. We can declare the element by this way. For example, here name, right? So we have a name. We'll discuss about the name only. I mean, why I'm coming to the first name? So I need to some differences show. So that's why I have some. Okay, we'll clarify this one. This is the lowercase. So we can declare the elements complete lowercase letters, lowercase characters. This is the one way we can declare this one. And second way, we have a uppercase letters. So uppercase will be, all will be uppercase letters. This is also valid. This is also valid. And this is also valid. So third one is snake case. Snake case means, so here is the, first with underscore some name. We can have an underscore. It's a snake case. And we have fourth one is Pascal case. Pascal case will be first letter will be small case, and after what are the words will be declaring, right? The second name word will be started with the capital letters. And fifth one is camel case. The camel case will be the first each word will be first letter is the capital letter and second letter is the uh, like a capital letter, second word. So here it is first name. It is all characters will be lowercase, uppercase, all characters will be uppercase. And the camel case, we can add some underscore. So for example, this is one, right? So surname. So we can like it's like this maintenance. So this is called a snake case. And it's a Pascal case. The first letter will be small and the second onwards, it will be the first letter will be the capital case. And camel case will be this is the first letter and this is the second word. This is the capital letter and this is a capital letter. So these many ways we can declare the elements in the XML structures. So we need to follow the any one of the case to declare the elements while making a XML file. So these are the cases we have a possibilities. Okay. So as I'll show some more. Okay, so I think yesterday we discussed, right? So XML is extendable markup language, and it is a language and stored and transport, and it is a readable structure which we have. So this is the sample structure which we have discussed so far. Okay, and we have a so this is the like no declaration statement. Yesterday we discussed root element and child elements. So this we discussed. I'll share this PPT also for you guys like to review purpose. So these are the rules which we have. I think we discussed this one. So the tag should be like this. See, this is the invalid tag. So the tag should be end with this close tag should be matched. And these are the case sensitive, right? So types of the case sensitive. So we have these many possibilities we can discuss, we can do that one. So this is like already I told you, some end tag should be like this. So this is one, this one. So now we'll go into some complex data structure, data structure. So till this point, do you have any queries about the XML declaration and what we have the rules about the XML structure, what we need to follow? So do you have any queries about this one? Anyone can have any query? Okay. So this is we can call it as a very simple XML file.
XML supports this all cases, Bala.
XML supported for all cases. Yeah, it supported all cases.
There is no case sensitive, that means.
Yeah, there is no case sensitive. Yes. So we can pass the elements like this, we can pass the elements like this, we can pass the elements like this, we can pass. So our comfortable and our readable, everyone should, as a developer, needs to think about while starting the code or implementation. So which is the readable and which is the like beautiful and which is the readable and to others as well as understandable. So then he can, for example, if you clear capital letters, somehow it is difficult to understand. So for example, it's a camel case. So you can very clearly understand the first name. Somehow it's a depends upon the architecture and the project. We can follow the any one of the case to handling the XML structures when preparing. So this is we can call it as a simple XML file. So now we'll go with the some bit complex XML structure, XML file. So the root statement will be same for any XML. So and root element will be same for example, now we are going with the customer information. So under the customer details, okay, under the customer details, I have a cust ID 001 and customer age and we have a customer date of birth, some value. And we have a name. Under name, we have as like no first name, okay, and surname and last name. We need to close these tags as well, right? Like this. So here we will pass the names. Okay, might be this is the first name and surname will be some P and the last name will be anything. Okay, so after this element needs to be closed. So what it here we declared. So this is the root element, okay, and this is the another like a complex element. Under the complex element, we can call it as this one. Name is a complex element. Name is a complex element. Name is a complex element. Under the name, we have a first name and surname and the last name. So these are all child elements or siblings. Siblings for siblings for this complex element. So these three element is a sibling for the name. So this is the complex structure. Same way, for example, we have a address details for the customer address information. So we can call like a one address for address. Why? Because we can declare like this. For example, name, everyone have a first name, last name, and surname. So we can pass it a very simple element. So these are like now whether we have a implementation, it's not a understandable, it's not a readable. So what we can understand by this way declaration. So under the name, the customer having name, right? So the customer name will be under this name. The first name have this one and surname have this one and last name have this one. Okay. So for example, like say if you combine these all the columns, right? So first name is Kumar and last name is Kiran, might be some space, Kiran, and this is the surname, right? So this is the meaningful name of the customer. So if we pass each element as a simple elements, so we are not understanding and it's not readable for the implementation to any others project developers. So we need to follow some proper naming, I mean structure to declare the elements. So this is a complex structure. Under the name we have a elements. These are called as siblings or child element. Same way, so we have a address. So under the address, so we have like no address line 1, address line 1, And okay, we need to close this tag as well. And second one might be street. And house number. Okay, so might be house name. Okay, that's fine. Okay. We need to close this tag as well. So under the address, the customer having a address line one and street, house number, maybe we can add city as well. And state. Okay, address line one. Okay, address line one might be Miapur. Street will be some ABC. And house number will be 18 dash or something 23 dash or 19. City will be Hyderabad. And state will be Telangana. So this is the address we have. And we can make like a customer complete information, right? Customer ID, age, date of birth, name details. So same way, for example, we have a contact information. So let's say other we have a contact information. So whatever required for the transformation, what are the elements required for the payload? What are the elements we need? So we can declare like this. So under the address, we have a this one and siblings. Under this one, we have. Okay, this is the complex XML structure in our like a transfer the data between the applications. So now in this area, so we are storing the values for street is the value and house number is the value and city, right? So this is a complex structure. If you compare this and this one, this is a simple complex, I mean XML structure, and this is the complex XML structure. Same way, we have so many fields in the real time and so many elements in the real time and so many like complex structures. So just it's understandable. Same way, you can declare any number of elements in the same way. You can declare any number of complex elements in the same way. So we need to follow rules, declaration statement and root elements. That's it. Okay. So this is how we are going to declare the XML structures at point of our integration development. So will more understandable at the time of part of integration for you guys. So for today will once this session is completed, right? From your end, you can make some practice to create the structures. You can understandable. So how it will be created. Okay. So any queries about the XML file? Vineet, Rakesh, Kumar.
No, bro. Good.
Okay. So clear, right? Up till this format. So
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So now it is a XML and one more format. We are using the JSON files. Okay, JSON files. So JSON is also one type of the language to store the data and to transfer the data and exchange the information between the systems. JSON is nothing but a JavaScript object notation and it is also applicable for all the technologies. Okay. So, right? Okay, maybe API's level we'll discuss about that one. So just to understand what is JSON and what is XML. So just understand here. The JSON will be like now, it is a very simple structure. We don't have any tags like this. So for example, very simple structure, the JSON structure, like this is the curly braces. Under that curly braces, so for example, same customer, right? I can create the element should be between the double quotes. Element should be between the double quotes. And after that, this is the element, and here it is the value. Okay. So this is the root element. The customer is the root element. Under the root element, so again, I started the this curly braces. So here we have a cust ID, right? Same we can cust ID will pass this way and value this be colon and value also should be okay, will value also should be like this. And each element needs to be end with the comma. Why? Because if we have any other elements in the structure, like for example, we have some next to DOB, age, right? Customer age. So after this customer ID, we have a element, the nested elements, like, so if we have a element after this first element, we have a element, it should be separated with the comma. Otherwise, it will throw some validation error. So now age will be 24 and DOB. Okay, DOB. Some value. And so this is the simple simple JSON structure. This is a simple JSON structure. See here, right? So this this is a closed by enclosed by this should be, and this is the enclosed by this one, and this is the root element. So these are the elements. So and these are the elements. We are passing the value like this in the JSON structure. Here is the one difference is, so I didn't add any comma after the end of the line. So my structure is completed. So if we have any other line, for example, if we have any some address, right? In that case, we need to close this one, but we don't have any sub elements after the DOB. So this is the structure. We don't want to pass any comma separated here. So, but before that, if we have any continuity, so then we need to add this one separated value. So this is the simple JSON structure. So here, right? So we are adding the customer. We have a customer, and this is the custody name and salary, right? Same way. For example, we have a salary. So let's say salary, right? So we need to add salary and its value here, this one. Okay. So here I'll tell something. Okay. And for example, name. Okay. Here, see, if we see one observation here, so the value also I closed by double quotes, enclosed by double quotes. Element is enclosed by double quotes and value also enclosed by double quotes. So why? Because so this is a number data type. This is a number data type. Okay. So we have a data types. Okay. Data types we have string, number, boolean, and date format, and string number, boolean, date format,
Text.
and yeah, text.
Text. No,
Sorry.
no, no, nothing.
Yeah. Okay. On the number, right, we have again integer integer, right? Integer concept. So we have a short int, long int. I think it's again different concept. So okay, like a storage level, right? This will be 4 bytes, this will be 5 bytes, like that, right? So this will be storage. So these are the types. If we pass any value as a string, it should be enclosed with the double quotes. Otherwise, it's an invalid value. If we are pass any like no number, we can pass by enclosed with the double quotes, also not a problem. If you are not enclosed with these values, the number values, it is also not a problem. So we can, both the ways, we can pass the number values by either enclosed, or we can not pass the enclosed. That is also fine. So, but we need to follow the, for string values, when we are passing strings, right? So it should be enclosed by the quotations. Otherwise, it's an invalid structure. Okay, this is a simple JSON. So these two structures, we are very familiar to understand the data, to understand the tags and rules and everything, right? So it is a very easy to understand the implementation part, and it's very easy to understand the data validations at the time of integrations and processing from one application to other, one system to another system. You can very easily understand the data, and you can, when you are going to see this structure, right? So what the source payload which we have received, and what are the transactions which we are doing, and the target system how they are expecting, and what they are expecting, and what value, for example, they are not something, right? So if you are very familiar about these two structures, it's a very easy to like no move on integrations. Our life is very easy for that. So why? Because when that, if you're not familiar with these two structures, right? So then again your conversion, what is this customer, what is this customer ID? So that will be some difficult for understanding at the time of integration. So it's a very clear and neat. We need to understand the payloads. So this is a simple JSON, right? So same way how we have created the complex XML, here also we have some complex. Complex nothing but we will pass some arrays and multiple root elements and multiple elements like that. So this is the customer and customer ID. So here it is a name, right? Same name. I'll pass my.
Uh,
Hmm.
Bro, I think we are less than 1 minute session available.
Okay. Yeah. I think let me close this, and we can rejoin the same link.
Yeah, we
Okay.
will connect.
Yeah. Okay.